Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM, and welcome to New Frontiers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an absolute beauty of a map. It really is. I utterly adore it. This is by Ola Haldor, or Maps of Norway, as he's sometimes known. It is available on the Giants Mod Hub to download now, and it is for all platforms. And it is, like I said, it's absolutely wonderful. Mainly because I kind of see it as Farming Simulator 25's No Man's Land. I'm sure we're all familiar with No Man's Land from 19 and 22. Just a wonderful blank canvas of a map for us to start our farming career on. Now, this is version 2 of the map. Version 1 was released a week or so ago, and Ola Haldor has added a few more features into version 2. Those new features are the likes of an animal dealer, there is a warehouse that's been added in, and there are also 2 new variants of the map. So essentially it's a bit of a 3-in-1, and all those 3 options are come to you at the very start screen where you can load up your map. So you've got the option for this standard version, which we're on here. You've got the option that's called New Frontier 69 Farmlands, which consists of 69 farmlands, and there is also a more forestry centric version called the New Frontier Forestry version. Really quite interesting and really quite unique in that respect. I really quite like that bit. But yeah, so essentially jumping into the map PDA very quickly, I'll show you this one. So this is the standard one, and it is split up into 16. The map is kind of split into 16 sections, all in varying cost. The cost of the land has been randomized, I believe, by Ola Haldor, so there's no real pattern to it. But as you can see, they're quite expensive because they are quite massive swaths of land. But you've got like Farmland 7 up here for 393, Farmland 12 down here, which I think is the cheapest. It's 196,608, 275, 251, and I think the most expensive is 16 here, which is 491, 520. Now, if you start off in new farmer mode with the starter farm, as I have done on this particular save, you start out over here in owning farmland 10, and that you own 2 of the already 5 set out fields. You own farmland 1 and farmland 2. It comes with a farmhouse. And now all 3 variants of the map come with the same features on the map. So what you have is a farmhouse, a vehicle shop, a warehouse, a farmer's market, an animal dealer, and a sawmill. So if I zoom in a bit closer here so we can see what we're looking at over here, we have the farmhouse, where we are currently at the minute at the vehicle shop and the medium petrol tank and the vehicle maintenance shop. Over here we have the warehouse and the other part of the warehouse where you can buy and purchase and sell the handful of the in-game pallet options and things that you need for building, perhaps the pallets of wood and whatnot. You have a farmer's market, you have an animal dealer, and a bit further north up here you have a sawmill for selling your wood and such. So relatively straightforward. There's not a huge amount of features on the map, but it's pretty much just the basics of what you need, and that's what's wonderful about it. So as I said, we're in the standard version of the map, the 16 farmlands, although 21 if you include the 5 fields over there. In new farmer mode, starting out with the starter farm, you have a small amount of equipment here. You've got it quite simply. You've got the Farm Tech trailer, you've got a Massey Ferguson 5713 tractor, you've got a plough, you've got a Great Plains drill, and you've got a Massey Ferguson 8570 combine and header. And that's pretty much it to make you start in your farming career. Obviously, I've started us out here. You've got the option, as we all know, at the beginning of starting the game. You can start with whatever option of money you want within the confines of what it gives you. And I always just tend to gravitate towards starting out with £1 million, just because it's lovely, or dollars in this case. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Now, as I said, the map is kind of like a 3-in-1. You've got the standard version, this one, you've got the 69 farmlands, and you've got the forestry edition. Now, personally, my favourite one is the forestry edition, and we'll have a quick look at that in a few minutes' time. Essentially, it's exactly the same as this, except it is just more densely populated with trees to make it a more forestry-centric map. The forestry version and the 69 farmlands version are kind of the same. When you open up the 69 farmlands, you've got the 69 farmlands, of course, and when you open up the forestry version of the map, that is also the 69 farmlands version, but more heavily populated with trees. Essentially, that's the kind of similarity between the two. But yeah, it is a wonderful map. It really is. You can start out with starting out with the starter farm, where you own a couple of fields, so you can make a start in the already set out fields, or you can start with nothing and start from scratch. So it's the perfect survival map. It really is. And like I said, in my opinion, it's Farming Simulator 25's no man's land, isn't it? It's a beauty. It really is. So let's jump into flight mode very quickly, because we'll have a bit of a look around. It's a bit easier to see it from up here in the sky. So it is a 1x map, of course, with it being available for PC and consoles. And interestingly, because it's been much easier to work out because of the way this map is set out, the size of a standard map is, well, at the size of this one, assuming it's the same as all the others, is 1,036.48 acres, for those of you who are even remotely interested. So yeah. So from up here, you can see a little bit better of what we've got to play with. So couple of fields here. These are the 2 that you own in new farmer mode. Over here, this is our farmer's market, and the little building down here is the warehouse, where you can purchase all sorts of pallets and production system equipment and bits and bobs for there. Over here, you have a lovely little designed animal dealer. You've got a few pens set out here. You've got some cows, you've got some horses over there. You've got your chickens, you've got your pigs, and down here you have your goats. So you can purchase what you want from here if you need. And then up and around here a bit, this is where the sawmill is laid out here. So quite simply, I'm sure these things don't need any introduction, do they? But yeah, that's pretty much it for what is set out on the map as per standard. Now, like I said, this is all the same for all 3 variants of the map. These features appear on all of the maps. Whether you own them or not is whether you start, as I say, with or without the starter farm. So you can pretty much see what's going on. You've got a relatively densely populated area of trees here, but it's quite set up, it's quite high up on a bit of a hill here as well. But then obviously going in this direction here, you've got these just huge areas of open landscape for you to custom start your own farm, design your own thing, go big, go small. The options are widely available to you. You've got this lovely little area here, which is just a really nice feature. You've got the pond and a little stream falling into a waterfall here. Really, really nice feature. It looks lovely. Just winding down from the main pond up here. And then you've got the, it's kind of like set into a little bit of area of trees here, but then the rest of it obviously back out into the open, not necessarily prairies, is it? But it's just the big open farmland where you can go for your life, depending on where you've started on the map. And quite simply, that's kind of it. That's, I suppose, like I say, because it is the first kind of survival map that we've, the first right survival map that we've been given for Farming Simulator 25, I think that's what we'd expect, isn't it? Just huge, wide open areas of land to start your farming career on. So, a very, very brief look around the base version of the map, I suppose. So now we'll jump very quickly into the 69 Farmlands version. So, in the 69 Farmlands version, as I said before, it is just pretty much exactly the same. Starting out in new farmer mode with the starter farm, you've got the same starting equipment, you've got the same land, you've got the same farmhouse, everything is exactly the same. But in the map PDA, as you'll see, the 16 areas of farmland are now split up into 4. So there's now 69 if you include the 5 already set out fields. And obviously the cost of these again has been randomized, but the cost is considerably less than what they were if you were buying the whole patch back on the standard version of the map. So it just gives you that, it just affords you that little bit more customization, that little bit more, well, it's cheaper for a start, isn't it? But as I say, you can just pick up a quarter of these big areas of land and start your farm on there if you wanted to be a bit smaller and a bit more focused, and obviously a bit cheaper as well. But essentially, I mean, that's exactly that. It's just the same map, but just split into smaller areas, essentially, to cost you a bit less money. Whether you started in new farmer mode with all the equipment or starting completely from scratch, it just gives you that little bit more customization and, yeah, just tweaking how you like to play it. So that's pretty much that for this version of it. It's exactly the same as it was before. There's no point in me flying around and showing you again because it is absolutely identical. So now we shall pop very quickly into the Forestry version. And welcome to the Forestry version, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as I said before, it is exactly the same map. It's just far more heavily, densely populated with trees, as you can see. Now, for some reason, I don't know why, I can't say why, but this is just my favourite version, to be honest. Now, there are a couple of differing things regarding the Forestry version. It sits on the same canvas as the 69 Farmlands version, so it comes with 69 Farmlands. Obviously, as you jump into the map PDA here, you can see it's the each of the big sections are divided off into 4. The starting equipment is entirely different. If you start with the starter farm and the starting equipment, this is essentially your only steed, your only tractor. You start with the Fendt 514, and you've got the Typhon EGV 65 log grab, as it were. Obviously, because this is the Forestry version. I do also love how the tractor is. It's 41%. It's got 41% damage. It's completely dirty. It's been busy and hard at work, obviously, looking at that. So yeah, just adds a little bit of character to your starting equipment. But there are a couple of different features on this map. But jumping very quickly again into the PDA. Now, I've bought the plots of land so that we can see them. But as you can see from up here, plot 16, up towards the north here, comes with the buildable log cabin. And as does plot 59 down here as well. Again, comes with the same thing, a buildable log cabin. Again, I suppose just to utilise the forestry side of things in that respect, because it's going to take quite a bit of wood. I haven't actually done any of these buildable placeables yet in the game, but yeah, you're going to need quite a lot of wood for that, aren't you? But we'll I really do like the one down on plot 59, so we'll just jump very quickly into flight mode and take a bit of a zoom over there. And I do like, this is the one I like more than anything because of where it is situated. It's down by this quite lovely water feature here on plot 59. So down here, You've got that waterfall that I showed you before with the stream. And then if you rise up the hill a bit towards the pond, that's that there. And then here is your buildable log cabin. So I honestly, if I was going to do any kind of survival series or start any kind of series on here, I reckon this would be where I'd do it personally, just because I just love the way it's laid out. And I love the fact that it's just nestled in among the trees. So it's, yeah, really quite picturesque if you ask me. But yeah, that's essentially the difference between all three. You've got the standard version, you've got the 69 farmland version, and you've got the forestry that sits on the 69 farmland version as well. But yeah, the variation in gameplay that you can achieve from either of these three versions of the map, I feel, is just wonderful. Ola Haldor has done a spectacular job of making this map, and it's just wonderful that it's out so soon into the life of Farming Simulator 25. It's I seem to remember No Man's Land came out quite early at the beginning of 22 as well, didn't it? So, yeah, starting our career off with a survival series might be pretty good, I suppose. But yeah, that's kind of it. It's not been too much of a long map tour because there's not that many details to have to show you. But either way, this is a must-have, in my personal opinion. Everyone must have this map in their collection. They really do. It's an absolute corker. It really is. So, like I said, it's for all platforms. It's available now on the Giants Mod Hub. The link will be in the video description below. I recommend you all go click that link and download it, and obviously go for your life with it. It's absolutely wonderful. So, relatively short map tour, but a map tour nonetheless. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope you have enjoyed this little map tour. If you're new to my channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please give the video a like if you can. It does do wonders. Helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And as always, there are a host of links in the video description below with my Giants Partner promo code. If any of you are in the market for purchasing Farming Simulator 25 and you like the idea of helping a content creator out and supporting their channel, as always, I would be massively appreciative. So thanks again for your time, everyone, watching the video. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.